Jai Shriman Narayan. Jai Shriman Narayan. Jai Shriman Narayan. I pay my obeisances to my spiritual master, Srimad Jagat Guru Sudarshan Acharyaji Maharaj. I pay my obeisances to Lord Sri Ramanuj. I pay my obeisances to Mother Lakshmi. And I pay my obeisances to Lord Sriman Narayan. I welcome all of you to our Thursday satsang, the very first satsang of 2020. I welcome those of you that are present here at the Sri Narayan Dham, and I welcome those of you that's watching this discourse live, locally, nationally, and internationally. I welcome those that's going to be watching this discourse when it is posted in the various groups around the world, including YouTube. Our topic for discussion continues this year. Modern science is catching up with supreme science, and the world is Lord Narayan's classroom. We have just come from our annual general meeting, which was held on the 31st of January 2019. December 2019. And the Sri Narayan Dham has evolved to a more serious note and in a higher dimension, in that we have identified a lot of gaps that we had in the preceding 6 years since its inception, and we have also realized that we are now ready to go to the next phase, and we can start functioning as a business in terms of the functions of the Sri Narayan Dham. So this year is going to be taken very, very seriously, and in order to do that, I have cleaned my own house first, which means I have remedied all that was seemingly contradictive in pursuance of my mission. So from my side, from the Guru and his family, we have severed links that are not conducive to the running of this ashram and to fulfill the purpose and mission of this organization. Our next step is implementing all the regulative principles as contained in our constitution to all the members that are involved in the organization and running the organization with the deepest of respect, of dignity, of love, of compassion, and absolute truth. So we have come a very, very long way in the past 6 years, but we have not compromised and we have not taken the eye off the ball. We have made great strides internationally. Our aim in 2018 was to spread the Lord Narayan awareness worldwide. And if we do a review just from our efforts from the Sri Narayan Dham, this awareness has spread around the world. notwithstanding it existed in India from time immemorial, the rest of the world was confused as to who the real and the supreme personality of Godhead is. Because various gurus from various sampradayas have toured the world, not comprehensively explaining, as per Vedic injunction, the exact nature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we have boldly declared since our launch, as per Vedic injunctions, that Lord Sriman Narayan is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, unparalleled, unsurpassed, and this is confirmed in all the Vedas, all the Upanishads, the Itihasas, including the Ramayana and the Mahabharata, and all the Sattvic Puranas. So there is absolutely no doubt, as per scriptural knowledge, that Lord Sriman Narayan is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and nothing exists beyond Him. Through the teachings of Lord Sri Ramanuj, we clearly explained away all the contradictions that seemingly appear in the Upanishads, and we declared to the world that Lord Narayan is in everything and everything is in Lord Narayan. We then went on further and we explained that Lord Sri Ramanuj, through Vedic injunctions, showed that material nature and the living entities form the body of God, both in the manifested state and in the subtle state. So there is an inseparable relationship between God and the individual souls and God and material nature. We showed that the only system that has kept to the original teachings and the original collation of all Vedic truths as per Veda Vyas from the Vedas verbatim was only Lord Sri Ramanuj. Lord Sri Ramanuj formed the basis of what we call Vaishnavism today. Lord Sri Ramanuj is the founder of Vaishnavism, and from that foundation many other philosophies took its growth in various degrees of the absolute truth. We also showed that Lord Sriman Narayan is the source of all sciences, and we stated that Sanatana Dharma is not a religion. Sanatana Dharma is an absolute science as declared through the Vedas. Religion as a founding prophet, Sanatana Dharma has no founding prophet. The Vedas is an authority in itself. The Vedas is an authority in itself. No man authored the Vedas, and neither did God author the Vedas. There is no difference between God and the Vedas, as the Supreme Personality of God, Lord Sriman Narayan, is the very essence of the Vedas. And NASA continues to prove this fact as they become more and more inclined in revealing and finding the mysteries of the world. We also stated that the hundreds of excavations around the world, when science is boggled and the archaeologist is boggled, when they flip the pages of the Vedas, the answer to each of these archaeological sites that are found is found in the Vedas. The Vedas is proof through all of these archaeology. Is there a comment? No. So we have taken our time, we have been forceful, we have been bold, and we have been fearless in spreading the truths that is contained in the Vedas, not only to the Western world, but to those that profess to be Hindus. Great confusion reigns in the minds of those that call themselves to be Hindus. And we explained comprehensively the hierarchy of the government of God. We've explained in detail the behavior, the temperament, and the mindset that a human being has to exhibit in order to form the union with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, in furthering the mission of my spiritual master, Swami Sudarshan Acharyaji Maharaj, and being a component of the Sri Sampradaya, we have done what was possible despite all the constraints, despite all the attacks that we had on the ashram, despite all the financial constraints, and despite everything that tried to hold us back from pursuing our goals, we've crossed the line comfortably. And the Sri Narayan Dham is a well-recognized ashram belonging to the Sri Sampradaya around the world and in India itself. And to complete this aspect of the discourse, VISHVADHAR is filming. I don't know how he's going to now speak. Vaishnavi, you can hold the camera for VISHVADHAR. He's just going to give his few experiences and acknowledge the fact that the Sri Narayan Dham is well respected in the circles of the Sri Sampradaya on his pilgrimage. Because some people think that we are functioning in isolation here in South Africa and we are doing things according to ourselves. So Vishvadhar had an experience and he met many senior members and swamis from various organizations, including our supreme headquarters, our Vaikunt on earth, Sri Rangam.
Thank you, Acharyaji. I'm Vishishtadvaita RAMANUJ'S, and I had the pleasure, through Acharyaji's grace, to be able to do a pilgrimage to India. It was just under 3 weeks. And just to let everyone know, it started off in Hyderabad, where I spent a few days at the Jiva campus. Thereafter, I went to Chennai to visit more DHAM'S, following which I traveled to Sri Perumbudur, the birthplace of Lord Sri Ramanuj, and then ending off the pilgrimage in Sri Lanka. So I've been with the Acharyaji now for about 3 years, and everything I learned has been through Acharyaji's discourses and our conversations. After some time, I had the honor and opportunity to be able to manage his social media sites and do his transcribing and do the posting. During this time, I had also been in interaction and contact with other swamis around the world. These included swamis in the Sri Sampradaya. So I've through the months and over the years have been establishing relationships with these swamis. Some of them I knew, and some of them I met for the first time on my trip. So everything, in a way, kind of just linked up on this trip. Just to give you some examples, with just highlighting a few of them. So at the Jiva campus, I had the opportunity of meeting a good couple of swamis that are very close to Sri Channajaya Swamiji. These are his disciples, and I had the pleasure of just understanding how their lives rotate around working at the ashram, how much of knowledge they gather, what sort of rituals they perform, and how they spread Vishishtadvaita. And I was doing this because I wanted to understand how is it different from what we do here in South Africa. What's the guru relationship, and how is it different from their experience, and I wanted to compare to what we have here with the Acharyaji. Also with that, I wanted to understand what spirituality was as a whole in India, because in South Africa the Guru-Disciple relationship is not so recognized, and in temples in India I found that it's blessings that you normally go for. In all of the DHAM'S that I visited, they weren't discourses. There was only a process where you followed a queue and you received darshan from the Swami that blessed you. So my interactions at Jiva campus was really good. I got the pleasure of meeting Sri Channajaya Swamiji, and I made contacts with some of his disciples. When I then traveled to Chennai, I also connected with another Swami, also in the Sri Sampradaya, and what I found is that we are extremely connected. Even though I did not meet this Swami, we had a close connection. In fact, he played an integral part in my pilgrimage by telling me exactly where to go. Then I would phone him, and he would explain to me the history behind each of the temples and the significance about each of the murtis that were there. So it gave me a personal experience when I visited each of those temples. It wasn't just going there, seeing a murti which I did not understand. I actually knew the experience behind it. And this is the connection that really touched me within the Sri Sampradaya, because everyone is very united. There's no your ashram and your country and your sampradaya and mine, even though we're connected. It's very united. When I traveled to Sri Perumbudur, I also met one of Sri Chinajaya Swamiji's disciples that runs the ashram there, as well, with a few of his disciples, and also very, very extremely warm welcome. We had a conversation, we chatted, explained to him what we do in South Africa, shared my experiences with him, and it was a connection, and it was just establishing a relationship. Even up till today, I am in contact with these swamis and gurus that I have met. Sri Rangam was the highlight of my trip. Everything that Acharyaji explains in his discourses is 100% true. I got the opportunity to see Lord Sri Ramanuj just behind his murti in Sri Rangam. It was a divine experience, nothing that I expected. It was just totally unexplainable. Yeah, so he really, his live body is there in the Sri Rangam Ranganatha temple, and it's exactly how Acharyaji explains it. There are hundreds of people that come to meet him, to take blessings. Spiritually, India is alive. Everyone understands the Guru principle. But what I've noticed is that in South Africa, Acharyaji gives us a lot more. I feel that in my experience, I received the blessings, I went to the temples, but in terms of transcendental knowledge, it's priceless that we get this from Acharyaji when it is not so easily available. It is available, but not so easily available as Acharyaji runs his discourses. I'm not sure, Acharyaji, if I missed out anything in this trip.
Yeah, I wanted you to make mention that we are known
Yes.
by all those places that you went, because that's the reason I asked you to state this, because people believe that we are isolated and we're doing our own thing.
So, sorry about that, I just got caught up with my own trip. So, in all of the locations that I went, all the swamis that I met, they all knew of Acharya Shyam Ramanuj. They know of him, they follow him on social media. Our ashram, Sri Narayan Dham, is recognized, and many of them, those of the swamis that Acharyaji had met in his previous trip to India, knew of Acharyaji, had asked me how he's doing, what's happening with ashram. So there was definitely that establishment of them knowing who we are. And in Chennai, for example, when I was in contact with that swami, and also on Facebook with other swamis that I'm in contact with in other parts of the world, being in Nepal, in Russia, in Canada, there are other disciples and swamis who know Acharyaji but have never met him, but have utmost respect for him. And I am witness to this because I am in communication with him, and I regularly message and keep in contact. And even in Facebook, they like, love, and comment on our post. Even in Sri Rangam, when I met with the Swami there, I had met with him for supper, and we had a long chat about Sri Vaishnavism, and he knew Acharyaji, and we are definitely well known. I was actually surprised because in the little place of Sri Rangam, the headquarters of Lord Sri Ramanuj, where his body is, these swamis are very, very highly ranked in their positions, and they are deep within the Sri Sampradaya, and if they already know who Acharyaji is and the Sri Narayan Dham, it gave me great opportunity to express and explain our ashram and what we're doing, and the fact that we're building in construction. They were actually very pleased with that.
Okay, Jai Narayan. Yeah, I just wanted you, and I wanted VISHVADHAR to connect and understand that this Sri Narayan Dham and myself, we didn't just pop up from somewhere and do something. We belong to the principal Sampradaya. We have established from day one when we went on social media that we belong to the Sri Sampradaya and that I am a bona fide spiritual master of my Guru, Swami Sudarshan Acharyaji Maharaj. And all my trips to India, it was confirmed by Guruji's own family and parents and friends and other Swamis. We are well known and well established in this Sampradaya as a disciple of Swami Sudarshan Acharyaji Maharaj. And our headquarters, which is in Sri Rangam, continuously will be providing, now that Yatin has met the central Swamis, any technical guidance that we need on our way forward technically. As far as the discourses and the spiritual aspect is concerned, we are well on our way, but there might be technical aspects which we might need to adopt from the Sri Sampradaya from time to time. Are there any questions? Any questions? So please, this year, we need to respect the Guru-disciple relationship in its entirety. This year is the year where we're going to respect the Guru-disciple relationship in its entirety. We are going public. Yatin Bhai just informed me that our printing press, of which we might have a small part, has already been purchased. So we want to rush up the Goshala, the animal enclosure, and the completion of just this side of the building, so that we can go public now and invite South Africa to visit the Sri Narayan Dham. I think in the next 2 or 3 months, all our phase 1 ventures should be completed. Are there any questions? I just want to read in closing a few verses from the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 12, verse 13. He who never hates any being, who is friendly and compassionate, who is free from the feelings of I and mine, who looks upon all pain and pleasure the same as, and who is enduring. Verse 14. He who is content, whoever meditates and is self-restrained, and who is firm in his convictions, who has his mind and reason dedicated to me, he is dear to me. And in concluding these 2 verses, I want to reiterate that I am not a family pleaser, I am not a child pleaser, I am not a disciple pleaser, and I am not a people pleaser. I only please God. I only please God. That is my duty, and I will continue performing my duty in terms of the regulative principles as given by Lord Sriman Narayan when he entered this earth and when he gave these verses. So you won't find me pleasing my family, you won't find me pleasing my children, you won't find me pleasing my friends, you won't find me pleasing my disciples. My job is to please God, and your job is to follow me if you want. The choice is always yours. The Sri Narayan Dham will continue in this manner up until the time it ends its living. Only God will be pleased, because the only truth is God. The only salvation is God. And this is perfect science. This is perfect science. If you want to know the absolute science, then you need to know the originator of absolute science. And in order to know the originator of absolute science, then you have to follow disciplines to know the originator of absolute science. And that is my job. I have no other job here. My job is not to pat you on your back, make your marriage work, make your things happen. That's not my job. My job is to tell you who God is. Your job is to make your marriage work. Whose job? Your job. You must make your marriage work. You must make your employment work. You must make all your relationships work. You must get your promotion. You must get your health sorted out. I will give you the tools. My job is to give you the tools. Don't forget that. Jai Sriman Narayan.